So without further ado, Pasquale Cerasoli.
Good evening. I think I will start somewhat on a light level. When I was in practice, people would call, "What method do you use?" And I remember one lady who definitely wanted the Palmer method. I wanted to know whether I used the Palmer method. I said, "I do. Come on in." Now, I know what she was referring to, but I figured I got to break this thing with different techniques. So she came in, and finally, when she got into my adjusting room, she said, "Oh, you got a real big, heavy practice here." I said, "Well, I try to do the best I can." So she told me she was the one that called. I said, "You have something to tell me?" She said, "No, all I want is an adjustment. Get on the table." So I adjusted her. When I got done, I looked her up. She looked at me. She said, "That's not the Palmer method." I said, "It's not?" "No." I said, "Lady, I use my palm." So I kind of put a little grin on my face. She said to me, "I think you got the devil in you." I said, "Well, that's what my mother used to tell me. I got the devil in me." I said, "If you don't like it, you don't have to come back." "Oh," she said, "I loved it. I love it. I want to come back." I said, "Okay." So she came in. So, then she asked me what method it is. I said, "Just chiropractic." "There's no method. Chiropractic. Period." And it was the techniques that split us too. Now, while we're observing things and learning things and listening to people, learn. But the hardest thing to learn is to... Anybody like to answer that?
John,
Keep it simple.
keep it simple.
That's good, but
Think for yourself.
Think for yourself.
it's good.
Anyone else? Tom,
Not to talk too much.
not to talk too much.
That's good.
Anyone else? May I offer one or no?
Huh?
May I say it or no?
Go ahead.
What not to do?
Yeah, thank you. Where's my notes here? Huh?
No.
That's right. What not to do. It's the hardest thing. The hardest thing when you get done with a person, you got to start all over again. I got to give them more. You're finished. You're finished talking. Learn. When you get on a platform, as I am now, learn. Learn how to speak well. Learn how to talk. Learn. This is what we have to learn. You notice? My R, learn. My tongue is up there, and learn. Structure, finish it.
Determines function.
And what happens when my tongue goes up? I give you an R. Structure determines function. Let people hear you. Now the next thing, the will to do it. Whatever you set out to do. If you set out to learn how to speak well, pronounce your words, do it. But remember, also, to learn the will to live. Without, who wants to finish it?
Anyone?
Fear?
Fear.
That's good, but that's what I'm
Doubt?
not thinking of.
Say it again, John.
Doubt?
Doubt? He said doubt.
That's good, but that's not what I'm thinking of. Drugs. Drugs. Pharmaceutical houses are telling us today that the woman who's been on a pill for 20, 30 years is more susceptible and more prone to die of a heart attack than if she were not on the pill. You know, that they can prevent becoming pregnant, that is true. But is that the whole story? No. What's the consequences? So when you, as chiropractors, serve, you are using a method in this risk world that is the least risky. And if you know how to perform what you're supposed to do, it becomes zero risk. And I've been upstairs for almost 40 years. I never had any problems. No one ever got hurt. And I always, as someone said, just went about without fear. Without fear. Now last night, as you heard, Joe Cucci here tell you, I got up and I told them about the council. The people coming into the New York Council today don't know its history. Did you know that before I spoke about it last night? No. They don't tell you. I personally think that even the members, not the members, but the officers don't know why the council came into being. And I'm going to tell again, if you don't mind, Joe, do you? Well, I say repetition is good for the soul. So we'll clean your soul out a bit. Now the council came into existence because there was another organization, and this organization was completely political, and we're going to get away from them. Because we had the idea, as my first chiropractor, Bill Werner, with the American Bureau of Chiropractic, which was nothing but a lay organization. Of course, the chiropractors became members.